Pranam and welcome to Hinduism in a Changing World with your friend and host Pandit Ravi. It's a pleasure being with you, serving in the interest of Sanatan Vedic Dharma. We will continue to serve. It is our mandate to serve, and as such, today I'm very happy to have with me once again my good friend Bhai Raj, who is a member of the Caribbean Hindustani organization, talking about Hindu Dharma and other cultures that pertain to our Indian tradition. Let me join you in prayers as we're going to proceed into the program. Can I ask you to join me in prayers? Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Nadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Raj is in Guyana to do studies, to inquire, and to actually investigate our past pertaining to our culture and our history so far. So if I am to speak, it wouldn't make sense. So if he is investigating, he wants to inquire, he wants to know more about Guyana, and he therefore will be the person to ask these questions. And I'll try my best to Raj.
Thank you.
To help you or to assist pertaining to my knowledge and my experience. Welcome to the television show, and I'm very happy to have you, and I'm very happy to know that people from Trinidad and other parts of the Caribbean and North America are interested in what we would have done in Guyana, how we're preserving, and what projects we have for the future. Welcome once again, and whatsoever you would like to know, Raj, you could ask me.
Thank you.
I'll try my best to answer you, and to answer you very honestly.
Great. And I'll tell you what, Bhaiji, you're doing a great job being a representative of Guyana. I'm enjoying my stay, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm getting a lot accomplished. So while I'm here, I'm really curious. I would like to ask you questions regarding yourself, your endeavors, and your efforts. And also this may inspire others too, to also be proud of their background. So my first question would be, could you tell me a little bit about your lineage?
My lineage, was born in Lusignan.
Okay, interesting.
In Lusignan, my parents and grandparents, they all worked in the sugar industry because they were product of those people who came from India, or ancestors who came from India, and our life was regulated to the estate.
Right.
So, but notwithstanding the fact that they were farmers, I could remember my father planting rice right in the Lusignan bag, not too far from the housing area, as well as they were working in the sugar estate.
Oh, okay.
So, but apart from being laborers or skilled people with regards to the estate work, my parents were strong, ardent Hindus, both sides, grandparents, Nana, Nani, Aja, Aji.
Okay.
They came from a very strong Hindu background, and that is the reason. My Aja was a Pandit, and my Mamu, they're Pandits. My Chacha is a Pandit. I have a cousin Pandit, my son. So we actually was born and bred into this culture, the Hindu culture, the Hindu way of life.
So, may I interrupt? So that means they were definitely educated in their own sphere.
I want to believe, to let you know that my parents, they were very, very literate. My father was very literate. As a matter of fact, I could remember when I was in common entrance class and I couldn't got some of my maths problem done regarding to cube. My father used to he worked a heavy duty machinery, it's called a drag line, and they used to work by cubic.
Wow.
So he would have taught me cubic, how to calculate cubic. And he was very good at English language, and so he was a high school person. So he went to Buxton High School.
Okay.
So my father was literate. My mother could have read. My grandparents, I knew them. My Aja was a good Pandit, and he was a vice president of the Mahasabha. So they had a very strong background pertaining to education.
That's important to know because I believe many people have a skewed understanding that many of our elders, our grandparents, our great grandparents, even our great great grandparents may have not been literate. So that's fantastic to know.
I want to let you know that my mamu, he started as an operator in the estate as a phone operator and became a manager.
My goodness.
So he transited. He had to have an academic background. One of my chacha too, my father brother, he was a little secretary for the manager, and he became a full field superintendent, and so forth. So they have worked they started from the bottom because of their academic background. They went to those held those positions.
And I guess that's what makes us very unique too. So being surrounded by this scholarly environment, right? A religious scholarly environment, educated environments. How did you gain an appreciation for that? What was the evolution of that?
Well, anything my parents did or grandparents or was done in the community, I put 100% likeness to it. Whether it is in the farm. To be honest, I could tell you how to grow sugarcane. I know how to grow sugarcane from the planting of the sugarcane or flooding the field, preparing the field, fertilizing until it's harvested. I know everything about it because I did that practically. My father had farmlands and we did that. I could tell you about rice, completely how to grow rice because they had and I will grow. Whatever my parents did, I try to be a part of everything that they do. My father had a car. In years ago, they called it the Wolseley or Mars Oxford. I could tell you, I could lose the car from top to bottom and fit it back because when my fathers do that, I always to be with it.
Wow.
And I could do that. I could cultivate my farm. I learned from my Aji and all of them what the importance of gardening, farming. You see, something that I grow in. It is not an academic thing.
Right.
I grew in these things and I see it happen and I be a part of it.
Why did you think you valued all that?
Raj, I tell you something. Since 1982, I have been cutting my own hair. I never went to a barber. I never went to a barber. From 1982, I got married. 38 years gonna complete soon. I never went to a barber. I did everything myself. To be honest, I do my own my clothes. My wife will wash it. I do everything. But if my mother taught me to iron clothes, I told my wife, "Listen, I want to do this. I love to do this. I could cook. I could do everything. Everything that was happening or transpiring in the home around the environment. I had an appreciation for everything." And those days, there were no wrong things, so you don't have nothing to appreciate that was wrong. Everything was very productive. Everything was good. Everything was right. Everything was for the benefit of yourself, the family, and the community. So you had to appreciate everything.
When you said benefit of the community, so you appreciating everything was not just because of yourself, but also you wanted to be a part of the community or help the community.
If you have a future, let us say a projection, as a small boy, you may want to know what you want to be, what you like to have, and so forth. So I used to be a part of everything because I want to make contribution back towards the community. At the age of 11, I think I was playing drum. I knew in my entering secondary school, I was a member of the Annandale Secondary School band playing music. So I'm a good cricketer, very good cricketer. I used to represent the East Coast North Coast in cricket as a batsman and wicketkeeper. I was a 6-mile athlete. So everything that was happening, until this day I could play very good tennis table. I am one of national golf player. Anything that I go into, I appreciate it. And not only appreciate it, I very, very deep into it. So actually you could compete at it. So what I was trying to tell people that you don't have to do one thing in life. You can do what you want to do professionally, but you can do so many things.
Absolutely.
I could construct a house by myself. You tell me to build a house, I will do that because I know how to do that. I did that. And I construct my house myself.
Amazing. I can tell those viewing, I can ask him anything and he'll give me an answer.
Yes. I'm part of the carpentry. If you give me 2 pieces of iron to weld it, I will weld it. If you give me this clothes and say stitch it up, I will stitch it up.
Yes.
I polish my own shoe. I do everything that was required of an individual to make you rounded. And that is what I'm not seeing today in the modern child.
Right, and that's what I want to kind of hit on. But your perspective was community and
Yes.
the well-being of
and
the
rather
community.
I didn't do it because of anything. It was forced onto me. No, at no time, nothing was forced. My parents didn't force these on me. I saw them do it. I saw them they benefited from it, and I just be a part of it.
Great. So with that, I would definitely encourage young people to not think selfishly, but think for the community. You're not only helping yourself, but you're helping the broader picture. Tell me a little bit about your academic experience.
Well, not much, I can tell you. I went to the kindergarten school. I went to Lusitania primary school. One of the things I surprise you with is that when I went to the primary school, there was an exam you had to do, common entrance.
Yes.
My brother was 2 years older than me, and the 2 of us write common entrance on the same day. I was the first grandchild to enter a secondary school.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
On both sides, Aji side,
Nana side.
Nana side. I was the first grandchild to enter a secondary school. I went from Lusitania, I went to Annandale Secondary School, and I did wasn't CXC then, it was GC. You know,
For the English.
British exam.
For the
British
English,
exam.
British
General certificate examination. So I did my secondary school exam at Annandale Secondary. My favorite subjects I want to let you know, was literature and history. And that's what makes me the pundit.
Yes, yes.
I passed commerce, economics, and other subjects, but English literature and history were my favorite. And reading was my hobby.
I enjoy those two as well. This is maybe a touchy subject, but I'm a little bit curious about this. So, you're right in the midst of this Wismar situation massacre, right? How did that affect the community, or even you personally, even Hinduism as overall?
To be honest, what you're asking there, it's not something I would have experience in Wismar or in Mackenzie, but in my village, neighboring village to us was what you call Buxton, and I was a little child then, so I couldn't really comprehend what was happening. All I know was there was an issue or a political thing, and my father and my mother would say, "Be careful, do this, do that." It did affect us, the social, the fabric of the community. But while that was happening too, it didn't really had an adverse effect on on the progress forward.
You still strived.
Right. There was always a struggle in Guyana, always a struggle. As a little boy growing up, I can't remember the country was without a struggle until I think it was 1992.
So knowing that, no matter what may have happened, your evidence, I'm sure many other people out there, that if you put your mind to it, despite the negatives that may be happening or surrounding you, you can do well. Not only just for yourself, but for the community.
Yes. Struggle sometimes makes you stronger because you have to confront it, you have to face it, you have to work against it, you have to overcome it. So as a little boy growing up, I don't know where to go, who to go to, and as a matter of fact, I've been part of so many small organizations that they were in the struggle. For example, in Guyana, there was as a little boy growing up, I know there was a group we called the All Indian Movement. And as a little boy, I was a part of that movement.
I see.
Then they had what you call the struggle with the WPA, the Working People Alliance, was born around when I was at secondary school. Boy, I know I was a part of the struggle, although I was not a part of a member.
Right.
I was a part, selling the day clean in the school, this Catholic Standard in newspapers, so people could see. I was a part of the PPP.
Wow.
In the school, selling mirror as well. So I was involved a little in all everything because it was a struggle, and any little group came up, you want to be a part of that group so that you overcome this thing where others the generations to come will benefit.
See.
But politically, I've been a member of the PPP for quite a long time. From Annandale, I moved to Mahaika, I came to Enterprise, I've been a part of it until I became a candidate of the PPP.
So you're really an advocate or evidence that knowledge or the pen is a great weapon and tool.
Of course, the greatest weapon in life is this.
You see that?
Is this pen here that I have, because I use it quite a lot on papers. I write on Facebook, I write.
Yes.
The only way people will understand is when you put things so that they can read, they can comprehend, and put it into use.
That's the change of Guyana.
Yeah.
It lies in a pen. That's amazing. Well, explain to me about your various occupations as we're going into
I
that.
told you quite a lot just now.
Yeah, a lot, yes.
But I could tell you I have moved from when I was in school. You're asking about myself, and
Yes,
that
sir.
happened to me alone, many people. After completing GC, there was nothing like a job around for me. So there were no alternative. You had to do anything at that time to earn anything, because the what you may call the system in those days, you had to have a party card, a PNC card, this card. That was a qualification to get a job, not your academic qualification. And so I didn't have one, and I never asked for one, I never bought one, and was never interested, because I was fighting against that. So I would to buy a party card or to be a part of that, it means that you're wasting time in the struggle. So to discourage that, I had to do something that I like, or things that I could earn from. So when I leave school, there was no job. I applied for teaching job, I couldn't get it then. And then my father had a few cane field beds. I started with a cane. I started like my grandparents. I went to plant cane. I harvest cane, cut cane, I do everything. I used to cut cane. I went into the fields working for Booker's Estate then, cutting cane in the part, then doing what you call distribution of pesticides and so forth, and then work in what you call the building as part of it, constructing buildings and so forth. So there were a lot of avenue in Booker's time where you didn't have to have a PNC card to go there. So I was working where you don't have to have a card, and at the same time it was multitask. You have many things you could have done. So Gaisuku now, Booker's time, Gaisuku was Booker's then. That's where I have learned so many things from: how to drive a tractor, how to work in the field, how to construct a drainage and irrigation. Everything I have learned there.
You can identify with almost any person.
Of course, anything in any field, whether the religious field, whether when I finished my there, I went into other aspect of business. I started to do little contracts, building contracts, or like carpentry contracts. Then I got married, fortunately or unfortunately. I got married, and that was a real good move for me, because I had a partner who was very inspiring and proactive. So it's like pushing you.
Yes.
Right. I then started a little business. From business, it grew.
Gee.
I became an agent for Caribbean Chemical, Amazon Chemical, lumber dealer, truck owner, businessman.
And just kept going up.
Yeah, I became a businessman. And then another fortune I hit was that I reached the right person in my life.
That's great.
So occupationally, I would have done business as a lumber dealer, as a contractor, as a farmer, and so forth.
So having all these experiences, being able to associate with almost any person, right? Then you have a stronger grip when it comes to your contributions to Dharma or to the country overall.
Well, when I was growing, I started my pandit ayn, so to speak, because being a pandit or a purohit, you had to do that. My father was, my Aja was, and so it was something I had to go through with, and I did it. At the age of 14, I did my first puja for somebody outside.
Wow.
Like what you call a jhandi or puja, I did it out. And then I started a little, but I was very, very shy. Very shy. And,
That's hard to believe.
Yes, because I'm not shy, nervous, because someday I have to go out. My father would be there.
Oh
my
yes,
chacha
yes.
would be there.
They might yell at you.
Yeah, senior pundits were there, and then after some time, I overcame that. I started to get into the Kirtan group, the Mandir groups, the Chautal group. As a matter of fact, I know these things by heart to speak, because I used to be in the company of these old people.
I am amazed when I see you working, because you can do everything without looking at a book, and that's really encouraging. Not only that, but understand what's happening as well.
Yeah, so in the field of religion, I started because of my grandparents, and so born what people may term in the Brahmin home.
Yes.
And grew up in the Brahmin home, and I did that, and I was yoked to that, and I did that. So, but apart from the what you call the religious side of it, I started to do things. Let me tell you something. I'm more patriotic than anything else. I love my country more than anything else.
Yes.
My mother, my father, my grandfather, I love my country more than anybody else. Anything else. I love my country more than my children and my wife. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. I am a true patriot. I love my country. And nobody will make me say, call me, oh, you're an Indian. I'm not. I'm a Guyanese.
Yes.
I'm a Guyanese, and that's how I take it very, very seriously. My four parents there are Indians, but I was born here, grown here, and bred here.
Yes.
And I love my country more than anything else, and that is the reason among all our families. And I must let you know, my mother's side there are 10 brothers and sisters. My father's side there are 9. So he's 18 on one side, and another side is 20. So he's 38. And out of us, we are 100 first cousins, and only a few of us live here. The patriotic one live here. All the rest went.
You just said a lot just now. Over 100 some first cousins.
Yes. Yeah, we are approximately that. We are big, very
big family.
Very big family. Very, very big family. My cousins on my father's side is over for approximately 45 to 50. First one.
Wow.
And the same thing with my mother. So it is. I had the opportunity to go and live abroad. I had everything to do with him, but I love this country and I stayed here.
I mean,
I have another cousin too who really loves this country. I will introduce you to him one day, Pandit Harish Tiwari. Very dedicated individual. Do exactly what I'm doing, more than what I'm doing sometimes, and a businessman too, but he is never away from his dharma and the love for his country.
That's beautiful.
So if you ask me, my dharma is the love for my country. My dharma is not anything else. What my Ramayana taught me, my Mahabharata taught me, it is for my country.
And that is true. That's what that is a message.
And I must tell you too, this is not ego, but I was not one of these person with these masters and these PhDs and so, not at all. But I have served in the capacity in my country, in this country here. I have served on the health board. I have served on the housing director on the housing board. I have served in National Commission for the Family. I have served on the prison board. I have served on the I'm maybe the only person in the Guyana that served on the Integrity Commission with 4 presidents, from Donald Barrett, the President Barrett Jagdeo, then Minister Donald Ramata, then Granger, Comrade Granger, then now Irfan Ali. So I have served in almost every capacity, most of these institutions, on the board of directors. Health, housing, national, ethnic. I have served represent the Hindu or community on the Ethnic Relation Commission. So almost everywhere.
Yeah, you're contributing in so many ways.
On the rice selection committee.
Yes, that's so much. But that's encouraging, because that's what we want today's generation to be able to do the same as well.
Only if you are dedicated towards your country, you could do that.
Right.
And if you're not dedicated and you just go there for a little petty interest, it will not serve the country.
No,
you have to be there go there from the bottom of your heart.
Absolutely.
And serve diligently, because when you're serving, it is not for one people, you're Hindus alone.
No.
It is for the whole country.
The whole country. And by that, there's better change.
Yes. People, one of the things I have not seen, that people are not dedicating their energy with maximum effort to make our country what it can be.
It can be a wonderful,
yes,
wonderful country,
yes.
And it is. Everything is here.
Everything.
Everything is here, and I'm saying that as a foreigner. Well, let's see what else. Current projects. Could you name some current projects that you're doing for our culture per se?
Well, to be honest, we had where it comes to culture and music, art, and so forth. We tried. It's not something that we could boast much about, but we have a few years ago, last year or the other year, we had started to have pandit training sessions for pandits.
Great.
We started a Ram Leela group through the Virat Sabha and my cousin Pandit Harish Tiwari
Great.
from the Valmiki Vidyalaya school. Brought people from Trinidad to teach here.
Yes.
We still having satsangs. We still observe all the festivals. As a matter of fact, next week we'll have Kartik Tirat.
Yes.
So being a part of these, we host a weekly television program here on Hinduism.
Oh,
myself
your
and
book.
myself and Pandit Harish Tiwari. He has a program called Vedanta.
Ah.
I have this one here. Then we do something on the radio too. I did a book.
Yes,
It's
the
called
book.
Puja Bidhi.
Yes.
So we are doing what we can afford little by little, and notwithstanding the fact that we do have programs, outreach programs like go to mandirs, church schools, distributing school supplies to schools and so forth.
Charitable works.
You were with me when I
Yes,
donated a
yes,
computer
yes.
at Hope.
Yes, that was
Right?
fun.
So we are part of this process. Next week I have to do a wheelchair for somebody. So we have some. We cannot do everything.
No.
But we are looking at the priorities and what we can, with what resources we have to furnish those priorities.
So we can sort of conclude then with this that we need help. You need help.
Of course, you see, organization work is you need people who have resources so it can channel down to us and then we can distribute. The fact is that there are so many things that people need out there, especially now with the COVID pandemic.
Absolutely.
We do not have the resources to do what I'll ask. I don't have to be a part of the distributing center, so to speak, but whosoever have things that they are not using or things that you think others could use, I'm encouraging people to
Yes,
do
absolutely.
that with their neighbors, their friends, the community, people who they work with. See what you can do. A little you can make a smile on the face of, put a smile on the face of somebody.
Absolutely.
I am not one of the person who believe God will bless you like this and give you more. I believe if I give you 25 cents, you're happy. If I give you 50 cents, you're happier. If I give you $100, you're the happiest man. That happiness gonna come back to me.
Yes.
How you're happy, the state of your happiness will definitely rebound to me. So that's what I want, people to be happy by making others happy. According to the measurement of happiness a person receives, that is how you will be happy.
Agreed. And you're doing a great job on that. You've been helping me so much. And I'll add, some things that I need help with is I need people out there who are good in harmonium to help me with writing down sweaters to songs. A dholak player, we're trying to document talas and even singers who know tan. So much, even cooks, whatever capacity you can help with culture, contact.
Let me tell you something about things that you should know. When our foreparents came to this land, their religious clothes, so to speak, were the saris and the dhotis
Yes.
and kurtas. One of the things I really admired with our old folks, especially the ladies, the women's section, they always had what you call the rumal, or the orni. They would have nice white clothes, beautifully adorned. You will think Lakshmi is walking in the street.
Yes,
elegant,
elegant,
beautiful.
Yes.
The same thing with the pandits having their dhotis and their pagris and their kurtas. We have lost some of that quite a lot. I know it is not a Hindu wear, but it's an Indian wear now. But the Hindus people used to identify themselves with those kinds of wear. Our food was not, there were no Chinese fried rice established any shop in now, like what you have, multitudes of Chinese cook shops or what you call them, or or restaurants. You didn't have that. The ladies of yesterday knew how to make kalonji, how to make saijan,
kalonji, I love
how
kalonji.
to make curry, how to make
Yes.
coconut choka, baigan choka. They knew how to do that. It was a part of our life. It's very difficult to have young people now to take a sil and lora, and to
grind
enjoy this feeling of making some coconut choka. Everything is electronic. You put something in the blender, you put something in the mixer. So the natural thing.
Have you
It's
eaten
lost.
Have you eaten makai ki roti, corn flour roti? Is that?
Yes.
It's hard to find now these days.
No, but
right?
you could have the ingredients to do that.
Yeah.
We, as a little boy growing up, I could remember, and if you do well at home, your mother will make a sugar roti for you. Right? Like sugar roti is a gift.
Yeah.
So the food aspect of it, we have lost quite a lot. As only if you go to a puja, you will be having the what they call 7 curry now, right?
Yes.
Like the dal, bhaji, and so forth, aloo curry and mango and everything. But in the home, I doubt whether people could, do the things that our foreparents.
Definitely, our cuisine is
would have
much
done.
more broad than what
If
we
I
see
want to
today.
enjoy myself, I told you last week,
Yes.
2 things I want to do right now. I want to go in my farm and cut some branches and make my own broom, just to feel nice. I want
Yes.
to pick up some dry coconut, grate it, and make my own coconut oil. Although I could afford that, that's nothing to afford. But just the feeling of how I make my broom, how I make my
satisfaction.
coconut. Then you make a roasted tomato, go into the Baghdad, pull out the cassava, roasted cassava. People are not doing that. Everybody, I think men in general, they have lost that kind of pride. They've lost it because they work on them computer games. I hardly see men going out outdoor activities now. You will have some cricket, yes, or some golfing as now like I'm doing, but you don't see much of it. The Lusikna Community Center was a little boy. Every afternoon, a minimum of 50 to 60 people will be there. Some running, some judo, some karate, some tennis, volleyball games. Now you don't have that.
I have to ask one thing. If anyone knows gatka or goshti, let me know. I'm looking for people who still do some martial arts or even stick fighting.
Okay. We used to do that in camps, practice stick fighting and so forth. But it is a nice thing that you have brought me here, ask those questions.
Thank
to
you.
See how we have evolved, how we have transited. And I think what I have done personally, everybody can do.
Absolutely. That's the main message. That's the thing I learned here, and I hope you all learned that. as well.
Everybody
Yes.
can do. You could do so much. I'm not forgetting the fact now I'm a television host, I'm a radio announcer, I'm a writer in a newspaper. So many
Yes.
things you could do.
So many
But
things.
people just want to do one thing, relax, and that's it.
No.
You could do millions of things.
Absolutely.
You could do millions of things. So Raj, I want to thank you for having me here. Our time seems to be up.
Thank you,
And,
thank you.
It was nice having you, and nice talking about what we have achieved in our projection. We will continue to discuss this. Pranam, everybody.